I'm gonna show you a file that I worked on for a little bit. Wait, file, open. Let's open it, this file. Okay, so this is the exact same map that we had. I didn't finish it yet, but I worked on it a little bit. I did the exact same things. You know, you don't have to follow exactly what I said. Like, there are so many ways to work around in Illustrator. So, for example, like when we created this shape with the pen tool, this building, you could have created it in the rectangle tool too, if you want. You don't have like to follow everything that I just said. You can just learn the basics and try to use them your own way, maybe. So anyway, here I hid the map. So I do have separate layers here, but in my opinion, it's not so important to have separate layers. Like, don't freak out if you forgot to create layers in Illustrator. It's okay. It's so easy to create new layers and just move the shapes around them. So for example, I want these grass thingies that I will show you how to make in a second. I want them, this one and this one and this one, this one and this one. Just choose them all. This one and this one. I want them to be on a layer on their own. Right now they're on layer 2, but I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is create a new layer. Take this red square thing, as I said before, just drag it up, and then now it's on a new layer. It's so easy. So it's fine. Like in Photoshop, when you create so many things in one layer, it's so hard, if not impossible, to separate them a little bit. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And you'll end up, maybe if you want to edit something, you'll end up losing a lot of time and editing abilities, I think. But in Illustrator, it's so easy to edit these objects. Like, you don't have to worry about layers so much. But it is nice to be organized, of course, and like have many layers. Right here, I'm not so organized because I didn't name anything, because I did it a bit too quickly. But you should name it when you have. It'll make your life easier when you're like working with things. But just don't worry too much about it. Anyway, so let's see how to create this tree thingies shape. I'm gonna show the map here, over there. Okay, so obviously you're not gonna create each and every like crooked shape over here with the pen tool. This is almost impossible. I'm gonna just delete those for now. I'm gonna delete them and do them again so you can see. What you're gonna do is create the main shape with the pen tool. Just straight lines. This one. They don't have to be perfectly straight here because you know, it's not a building or anything. And then curved here, maybe. Close it off. Curved there. And now you have the shape that you want. Obviously, I made it dark green on the edges and like lighter the fill, as you can see. But it's not the same as this one, so I'm gonna make it the same. Hit I, make it the same. Okay. Now, what you're gonna do, what you want to do, is to make the edges crooked a little bit. So one way, the easiest way to do that, is to choose the layer, the shape that you want. Just choose it, and then there's a panel here on the right that's called Appearance. If you don't see it, again, go to Window, and then go to Appearance right there. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is choose the stroke, because you want the stroke to be crooked. Choose the stroke and then go to Add New Effect, the FX sign. Click on that, go to Distort and this Transform, and then go to Roughen. Let's move this to the side. You'll get this menu. Hit preview so you can see what you're doing. Voila. Okay, this is horrible. So you can fix that. This is like the default, what do they call it? Default attributes of this thing. To change that, you can just tweak these numbers here, and this one. This is the most important one. Relative or absolute. To be honest with you, I don't exactly know what they mean. Like exactly what does relative and absolute mean. I mean, I know what they mean separately as words, but I don't know what they mean here. But I do know that absolute is better than relative in most cases. So if you see these weird shapes, just hit absolute and you get a better shape. Then you can go to size and change it up or down to whatever you want, maybe this much. Then you can go to detail, which will give you the rough edges. They'll be a bit more detailed. And then, of course, you don't want them to be, I mean, you might want them to be like sharp edges, but in this case, we don't want them to be sharp edges. So we're just gonna hit smooth. And see, you get these nice, sharp, kind of hand-drawn edges. Let's just add the details a bit more. Just bear in mind that I think the more details you add, the larger the file is. Like it'll be a bit harder for the program to like handle the information and stuff. But it's not that large, you know. It's fine. But you do want it to be quite detailed if you want the result that you want, that you prefer. Because like this is nice, but this is not what we want. Anyway, so just hit OK. And you get this pretty shape. Now to do the circle, or the tree thing, you do the exact same thing, but without the pen tool. I'm gonna use the L, which is the ellipse tool. Create a random circle. Do I want it to be a circle or an ellipse? I want it to be a circle, so shift. We get this pretty shape. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing. We go to stroke, choose the stroke here in appearance. Go to FX, distort and transform, roughen, hit preview to see what you're doing. Make it smooth, absolute, and then increase the size. No, don't increase the size. This is fine. No, yeah, this is fine. Okay, increase the details. This much. Increase the size. No, don't increase the size. Just tweak it until you get something that you like. Let's see how, you know, relative here doesn't look so bad. Maybe relative here is better than absolute. Who knows? I think it's better. Okay. Hit OK. Now, you can see here that the stroke is distorted, or, you know, it has the rough edge. But the fill, which is this shape, the circle, it's still a circle because you didn't edit the fill. You just edited the stroke here because, you know, you chose the stroke. So if you want to edit the fill as well, just choose the fill and then do the exact same thing. FX, distort and transform, roughen. Okay, let's hit preview, increase, smooth, change it till you like it. Aesthetically, is that a word? I think it's a word, yes. I think if they're different, like see the rough edge of the stroke is different from the fill, I think it looks just better, in my opinion. I mean, you can work on making them the same, but I think this looks nice if they're different. Yeah, they do. They kind of look like they're hand drawn, they're hand painted or something, water paint and something. You can even like decrease the opacity a little bit. That'd be nice. There's something that you can do actually, like here, if you decrease the opacity, that'd be nice. There's something that you can do to give it more of a style to the shape that you choose. Instead of like decreasing the opacity or increasing it, you can go here to oh, what was it? It's called no, transparency. Yes. To transparency, again, you can go to window and then choose transparency if you don't have it, which is right there. And here you can change the blending mode, which is something that you use a lot in Photoshop, I think. Yes, I'm sure you will. And you can just choose maybe multiply. Multiply is good in some cases, but here it's way too dark, so you don't want to use it. Maybe 50%. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. Maybe multiply again. 50%. 40%. It's kind of cool. It gives us a nice look. Maybe that's not the look that you want right now, but yeah, it's an option if you wanted to use it later. Let's see what screen looks like. This is nice. I like screen. Screen is nice. Screen. This is pretty cool. Yes, that is. See, you can just copy it. So you can create these things the same way. These trees here. And actually, let me show you how to edit this. Like, if you want to edit the rough edge that you did before, you can do that super easily. Just go to the appearance panel again, and then here choose this tiny arrow next to stroke, and you will get the effect that you added to this stroke. So here we have the roughen effect. Just click it and then hit preview, and now you can edit it. Maybe if you didn't like it before, you can just edit some stuff there. Perfect. Okay. I think there's just one more thing that I want to show you, because everything else, like the buildings, everything else is exactly the same as what I did here. Like the exact same thing that I used to make this shape and this shape, I used to make this shape and that shape and this one. It's exactly the same. And if you want to do this rough edge over here by the river, you can do the exact same thing that we did here. So the last thing that I want to show you is how to create these lines. You know, these walking lines. I think they're walking lines. I don't know what these are actually. I don't know maps very much. Anyway, let's see how to create these things, because obviously you're not gonna do one by one. That would be a nightmare. So what we're gonna do is just create this this curve right here in the middle of this. Let's hide the map for a second. Okay, so I want to create a curve in the middle, right there, by hitting P and then just drawing a curve. Yeah, see here I have the blue color for the layer. I can't see anything, to be honest. It's so difficult, so I'm gonna delete that and change the color of this layer to red. Okay, I think red is better. Yes, it's much better. Okay, so let's create the shape. We're gonna change the fill in a second. It's okay, no problem. Whoops. Okay, let's remove the fill and have the click swatch here, and you can choose dark gray maybe for the stroke. Okay. Okay, let's edit it a little bit. If you want to edit it again, use the direct selection tool, click on the anchor that you want, and then you can move the handle here. You see it moves it relatively easy. You can change stuff. There's also another thing that you can do in the pen tool and the selection tool to edit these things, which is if you hit Shift C, yes, Shift C, you'll get this, what is this? An arrow thing. Many arrows here. Anyway, get this arrow thing. If you hold it on an anchor and move it, you can see that you're changing, you're like redrawing the handles again. This will give you a much smoother line actually. Yeah, see, this is a bit smoother that it was before. And I would recommend not using so many points. Like when you start to use more than 2 points to create this kind of shape, it will be a bit of a mess. Like let's see. I moved here, and then I moved here, then I moved here, here, no, oops, here, and then here. You can see that it's so messy, and you're gonna need to work a lot on fixing it if you want it to be perfect. So I would recommend just using as little points as possible, and actually be a lot lighter on the program itself too, to use just a couple of points, not so many. So maybe 1 point, 2 point, and then a third right there. See, it's a lot smoother now. Anyways, moving on. So we're gonna what we're gonna do, right? The lines, the strokes here. This line that we created, you're not gonna see it in the end. We just basically created a path that these lines or strokes, these walking lines, are gonna follow. So let's create just one of these strokes from here to here, just one of them, and then another one here. No, whoops. See, I didn't deselect the shape, so when I clicked here, the shape continued to draw with the pencil. Wait, what? Yes, like the pencil. Wait, I'm not using pencil, I'm using pen. The pen is drawing, which is something that I don't want because it's connected here. I don't want that. So what you're gonna do is deselect this shape that you just created, the line, and then go over here, put P again, and then click and create another one. Now, whoops, yeah, if that happened to you, I don't know how to do it again, but if that happened, you see when I clicked V on my keyboard, the window view, like one of the windows, I think view, it popped out. It's because I need to deselect any shape that I'm drawing and then hit V, so I won't get that annoying window pop out. Anyway, now we're gonna select these shapes. First of all, I'm gonna make the stroke invisible. I'm gonna remove the stroke for this line, so put none, because this is the path that these shapes these two strokes will follow. And then that I don't want it to be shown. Then I wanna hit shift and select all 3 shapes, 3 strokes here. Go to object, blend, and blend options. Okay, no wait, sorry, not blend options. Blend options is for later when you want to edit this thing. Go to blend and then make. Yay. This is not what we want, but it's close enough for now. Now, after you created this weird looking thing, you can go to object and then go to blend, and now go to blend options. And then hit preview so you can see what you're doing. And let's choose specific steps. Smooth color is basically when you want to create a gradient without using the gradient tool. You can like choose 2 colors, maybe red and yellow, and choose blend, so this will blend them out smoothly. This actually could be, now that I think about it, this could be very useful when creating things like these. Maybe I'll create another tutorial later on that. Anyway, let's continue. Specific steps. We're gonna try and tweak these things. You need to know that when you're working with these kind of programs, you don't have to memorize everything that you're doing. You're just gonna go ahead and try. You're not gonna lose anything if you try it. So maybe I don't know, 30 steps is fine. I don't know. then we can hit align to path or align this one. No, 30 steps is not fine. 50. Okay, so 50 is a bit better, but you can see that it's not perfect. I do want to see what specific distances said. Ooh, maybe specific distances is better than that. See, we learned something new. Let's make two pixels. Nope, we need to make it more. By the way that I don't want to hit enter, because when I hit enter, like if I change the number here to 6 maybe, if I hit enter, this will take me out of that window and just apply the changes that I did, and I have to go to object, blend options again, and then again try to change things. So what I do is choose a number, maybe 9, and then change this orientation thing for a second, change it back. This way I can see what happens. I think we need it to be more. 15 maybe? I guess 15 is fine for now. It's okay. Wait, maybe 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. No problem. Let's hit OK. And now, if you change, as you can see, it's not perfect, but it's like the easiest way to make these kind of step thingies fast. If you change like the angle of these, what are they called? What is this? The handle of the curve that you made. You can change a little bit of the angle of the steps. See? And what I want to do here is choose the first one that I created, which is this, and move it a bit this way. See, that moved everything, and it became actually a bit better. So just move it, tweak it, see which works better with you. Maybe this. This looks about right. And here a bit more. Maybe that. Let's move it up. Let's move this point up a little bit and change the angle. This is close enough. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not so bad. It's pretty good actually. Wow. Okay, but if you're a neat freak like me, you might not be so happy with this. So what I would do if I wanted to be 100% perfect, I would hit V. See? Oh, yeah. See? When you hit something on your keyboard and see this pop out, you're gonna make sure you're gonna want to make sure that you don't select anything, and then hit V. That will select whatever you want to select. I mean, that will, you know, select the V tool, obviously the selection tool, because I hit V. Anywho's, what I want to do now is choose the shape that I just created and then go to object again. When you're happy with the result that you have now, where you're in like 60% happy, you can go to object and then go to blend again and then hit expand. If you hit expand, you can see that this the spine, I guess you can say, that we created, the path that they followed to create this shape is gone, because now it's not a blend anymore. Illustrator just distributed it to different shapes. Now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strokes, whatever, how many strokes this is. It's separate, but it's in a group, obviously. So if I go inside this group, double click, I can manipulate each and every one. So I can take, I don't know how long to just go ahead and fix this whole thing. Let's do this, maybe fix it from here. Just go ahead and fix everything. And here I do want to like delete one of this. Delete this one and delete this one. It would feel so much better if I did that. Okay. And maybe move this a bit further. You know, you can just go ahead. Oops. Okay. Go ahead and change these kind of things here. So for now, I think you can use everything that you learned here to create any shape that you want right now. So yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. I think in another video I'm gonna show you how to make vistas and like how to use the gradient tool a little bit more, and maybe more specific actions and stuff. But for now, I think you know everything you want to know about Illustrator, like all the basics, and you can go ahead and do stuff and stuff. Okay, so bye.